Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. Thank you again for joining me. Today, I want to talk about the way. What is the way? Believe it or not, the way was a name for the movement before the Christian or whatever. Christianity before, they called it the way. And I got some Bible references I want to share with you about the way. And here we go. I want to go to, follow me. If you got a Bible, follow me. If not, just remember watch this again and remember the verses and chapters and books I'm referring to here. Now, if we go to Ephesians chapter 4 or 5, it basically says we've got one master, one faith, and one baptism. Yeshua, and there's only one faith. There ain't multiple ones. There's only one, like baptism. There's only one type of baptism. And now I'm going to jump down to Jude 3. Jude 3 says here, Beloved, while I was given all diligence to write to you of our common salvation, I was constrained to write to you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. Delivered to the saints. See, the way had faith, just like, how they talk about Christianity claims it's faith. You got to have faith, So I'm going to go to Matthew. I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 4, verse 4 here. But he said, but he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yahweh. Out of the mouth of Yahweh. It's okay. And just remember that. That's very important. Very. I'm going to go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, 15 through 17. And it reads here, And from a babe you have known the sacred writings which are able to make you wise to salvation through faith, which is in Messiah Yeshua. Every scripture Yahweh breathed is also profitable for teaching, for reproof, for correction, for instruction, which is in righteousness, that the man of Yahweh may be complete, furnished completely to every good work. So you can't explain any better than this. Paul, he hit the nail right on it, on the head. Now I'm going to go to the way. We're going to do some verses about the way. And, when you read through the Bible, a lot of people, when you read something about, get out of the way, follow the way, you got to, I'm going to show you later what the word way means, especially in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Okay. In the book of Acts 24, verse 14, But this I confess to you, that after the way which they call a sect, so I serve the Elohim of our fathers, believing all things which are according to the law, and are written in the law and the prophets. Did you catch that? The law and the prophets. And, the way here, when it says the way up here, and then it says, they call it a sect, like a branch off from something, Now, I'm going to jump back to Acts 22, verse 4. And this is what Paul is explaining about his former life when he was Saul, the persecutor. And I persecuted this way to death, binding and delivering into prison both men and women. So Paul even says the word way, and it ain't like the way east or west or whatever. This was a movement. That's what it was. The way was a messianic movement. Acts 24, and we'll go back to Acts 24, 22. And it says here, but Felix, having more exact knowledge concerning the way, deferred them. Paul faced Felix. He also faced Festus and, Herod and everything. But that's what he says here. He recognized, he knew the knowledge of the way, the movement. Now, the word way is, get this, the word way is, now if you look up G3598 in Strong's Concordance, the Greek the Greek part, and it means it means hodos, a parent, a primitive word, a road by implication, a progress, the route, act, or distance, a mode or means, journey, high, and then way. Now, the way can be defined as a mode or means by which we progress down the road or path on our journey to salvation. Paul described the way in Acts 24:14 as believing all things according to the law and all things written in the law of the prophets. Let's journey into more scriptures of the way. We'll just take a look at more scriptures, and you'll be kind of surprised. It's mentioned in the Old Testament as well. Now, go to Deuteronomy Chapter 31 and 29. For I know that after my death you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you. And evil will happen to you in the latter days, because you will do that which is evil in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And the work of your hands, you could say, their hands, creating false idols and things like that, false, mighty ones, gods, whatever. Now we'll go to Psalms 25, verse 8. Good and upright is Yahweh, therefore he will instruct sinners in the way. This way, that's, like I was talking about the way earlier, and when quoting the New Testament. Psalms 119, verse 1. Blessed are they who are perfect in the way, who walk in the law of Yahweh. Psalms 119:30. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. Your ordinances have I set before me. And Psalms 119:32. I will run the way of your commandments when you shall enlarge my heart. Proverbs chapter 9:6. Leave off your simple ones and live and walk in the way of understanding. The way, the path of understanding. Proverbs 10, verse 17. He is in the way of life that heeds correction, but he that forsakes reproof errs. Proverbs 13, verse 6. Righteousness guards him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. Proverbs chapter 23:19. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. There's only one way, and that's Yahweh's way. Proverbs 29, verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. Now we'll go to Isaiah chapter 30, 8 through 11. Now go write it before them on a tablet, and inscribe it in the book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever. For it is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh. They say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not to us right things, speak to us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Get out of the way, turn aside out of the path, because the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. So, the path and way, that's what I'm talking about here. And the word, and then the word way is used in the Old Testament scriptures as H18770 in Strong's Concordance. And it means like a derrick from H1869, a road that's trodden, figuratively a course of life or mode of action, often adverbial, along the way because of by conversation, custom, eastward, journey, manner, passenger, through toward the way, highway, pathway, wayside, whither. Note, if you are not familiar with how to use Strong's here, if you ain't used to it, everything before the colon is of the definition, and everything after the colon is what different Bible versions have chosen to insert when they came across the word. That's that number, that number H1870 in the Hebrew text. But The use of the word way in these scriptures is emblematic of the path and the mode of action observing the one faith. One man has taken the path of the first day Sunday Sabbath, while another man has taken the path of the seventh day Sabbath. Two different paths. They cannot both be right. They can both have good intent, however, but there is only one way, one definite way. One correct path, and Scripture will lead us to the right path. Remember that. The Scripture will lead us to the right path. Now I'm going to go to Jeremiah here, and chapter 6, verse 16. In this manner, says Yahweh, stand in the ways and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way, and walk in it, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk in it. Just rebellious spirits again. Rebellious spirits and people. It's clear cut. That's Jeremiah. Jeremiah being a prophet, he's saying, hey, you got to do right. Here, follow the right path. The right way. Now I'm going to go to the New Testament, Hebrews, right here for a minute. Chapter 13, verse 8. Yeshua the Messiah, the same yesterday and forever. Yesterday, today, and forever. He's the way, the path of action Yeshua took was the way of observing the seventh day Sabbath. He would be observing the same way today and forever. The seventh day Sabbath would be a tenet of the way. Sure enough. Now Malachi, in the Old Testament, chapter 2, verse 8. But you have turned aside out of the way. You have caused many to stumble in the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, says Yahweh of hosts. Now I'll go to back to the New Testament here again. I'm flip-flopping, I know I am, but this stuff's good, and you need to hear it, be aware of it. Matthew 21, verse 32. For John came unto you in the way of righteousness. In other words, the path of righteousness. Matthew 22:16. And they sent to him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true, and teach the way of Yahweh in truth. Or the path, the path in which to walk. That's but anyways, we'll go to John 14, verse 6. Yahweh said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. There's no other way. Yeshua is the only way, the way to Yahweh and salvation and everything. He's the only one. Now I go to Matthew 7, verse 14. Remember, and this is a classic. A lot of people know this. For narrow is the gate and straight the way and leads to life, and few are they that find it. Few of them find it, Matthew 7, 21 through 23. And here's something. Here's something you need to really keep in mind. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of the Father who is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Master, Master, did we not prophesy by your name, and by your name cast out demons, and by your name do many mighty works? And then I will profess to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work lawlessness. So these false people, they're worshiping in vain. That's what they're doing. And they're saying, didn't we do this? Didn't we do that? And the reason for that is 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Everyone that commits sin also transgresses the law, for sin is a transgression of law. It's a transgression of law. Without sin, there's no law. Without no law, there's sin. Sin tells us what the law is. Law tells us what the sin is. So, that's just how that is. I don't know. Some people would say the yin and yang. I don't know, but now I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna conclude this with Luke chapter 3, 4, verse 4 through 5. And it is written in the book of the words of Isaiah the prophet, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, make ready the way of Yahweh, make his path straight, his path. Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked shall become straight, and the rough ways smooth. Rough ways. Yep, we got we got some rough ways, right now. I mean, there's only one way. Right now, it's kind of rough with religious deception going around, thanks to the, Satan himself. But I just want to share those passages with you because, when you read way, you're just thinking, of a direction, a way, or whatever. But the meaning of the word is more meaning to it. It used to be called, that was the name of the movement, before they later on decided to call them Christians, Christians, Christos and everything that's Greek, for anointed one, Messiah. And that's all I really wanted to say right now. I thank you again for joining me. And please look up those scriptures and, give me a big likes, hit that notification bell and subscribe, comment below, and watch my other videos. So I have more content coming out here real soon. So I thank you again for, joining me. Till we meet again. Peace out and shalom.